Krista Denton. I'm the senior instructor here at Berkeley Hall in Hilton Head, South Carolina. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why you may not be improving as much as you should be as a golfer. In fact, with all the technology we have in equipment and with teaching, players' handicaps are going up and more people are quitting the game than are starting, and that's terrible. So let's take a look about some reasons of why you're not improving the way you should. I believe there's too much information out there that's contradicting itself. You hear it from golf instructors. It's not your fault, the student. It's actually our fault, the teacher. The teachers are giving you conflicting information, TV announcers, every golf magazine that you pick up. Let's take a look at some of those pieces of information. Take, for example, some of these golf tips you might have been given. Add address. Stand tall to the ball. Bend over. In the backswing, make a nice full wide arc. In the backswing, keep the left arm close to your chest. Make a nice full big turn. It's okay if you move off the ball. Keep your head real steady. Make a steep shoulder turn. On the downswing, slide your hips, slot your arms. On the downswing, turn your chest and your body all the way through the finish. On the downswing, flip your hands, get a lot of rotation with the club face. On the downswing, as you're turning your chest and your hips, keep your hands quiet, keep your handle moving left, and keep rotating all the way through. See how much contradictory information there is? No wonder it gets confusing. See, the problem is people have been told that there's only one set of fundamentals in golf, and I believe that there's two sets of fundamentals. We've got two groupings that we're dealing with. Golf is a side-on sport, and what I mean by that is we're standing to the side of the ball. So because it's a side-on sport, there are two elements in a side-on sport. You've got the club that's going to work around in a circle, just like baseball that's played this way, and then you have an up and down element. So you've got an around element and an up and down. You also have two engines in your golf swing. Your arms and the club are one engine, and then your body's an engine. Each engine has a specific role. When both of those engines are working and firing in somewhat the same plane, so if your body's turning, your arms are swinging up and on the somewhat the same plane, I call that a one-plane swing. If you have your arms working more up and down like a Ferris wheel and your body turning more round like a merry-go-round, then you've got two separate planes, 1 and 2. So we've got two actually sets of fundamentals. One that belongs in a one-plane swing, when the arms are swinging more around the body as the body turns, and one that belongs in a two-plane swing when the arms are working on very much a steeper plane as the body turns. So what's important is that you understand what belongs in your one-plane bucket and what belongs in your two-plane bucket. When people get off, they're mixing information from both sets of fundamentals, and that's one reason why you struggle. Let's just look quickly at a couple key parts of the fundamentals. In a one-plane swing, the player is a little further from the ball, definitely a little more of a bend over posture. The shoulder turn makes a real steep shoulder turn, but the arms are swinging deep and around you. A checkpoint there in a one-plane swing, my hands are behind my right shoulder, okay? And a two-plane swing. Setup is taller to the ball, closer to the ball, more narrow stance. The shoulders are turning on a flatter plane, the arms are working much more in an up and down motion. At the top of the swing, the arms are right above that right shoulder, right on that right shoulder, maybe even closer to my head. On the downswing in one plane, it's very much a body rotating motion where the shoulders and the hips rotate, the right elbow stays higher in the downswing, impact looks like this. Downswing on a two-plane, because the arms are working up and down and the body's turning flatter, we've got to synchronize on the downswing. So there's a lot of timing, rhythm, and tempo involved in a two-plane. So the legs have to slide, the arms have to drop in, your impact, the arms are a lot more out in front of the body. On the downswing on a one plane, there's a lot of rotation here. On a two plane, you might see a little more hand action. So those are our two swing systems, one plane and two plane. And again, what's important is knowing where you fit in better, where you're more comfortable, what's more natural to you. Do you visualize golf as a side-on sport, okay? Playing a lot of baseball or hockey, you might be more of a natural one-planer. Do you visualize golf more as an up and down motion because the ball's on the ground? You might be a natural two-planer. So I would try a little bit on each and find the one that feels more comfortable and more natural to you as a player. Now here's what's really important. Those are our swing systems. Let's talk quickly about impact. Impact, and here's our plane. Remember, our plane This is a neutral plane. Our plane is a blend of some around and some up and down. So this would be neutral for the 6-iron. We have two options here where you can err. You can either spend too much time with the club spending too much time above this plane. That would be what I would call steep and narrow. Or that club could be coming in too much underneath the plane. That would be wide and shallow. It would be like an airplane. The steep and narrow would be like an airplane coming straight into the ground, and the pilot's got to pull up so they don't crash into the ground. The wide and shallow would be like an airplane circling the field. It doesn't have enough angle to hit the ground. Ball flights on the steep and narrow. Deep divots, pulled shots, pop-up drives. Ball flights when the club is coming in too wide and shallow to the ball. Thin, fat, don't hit your irons well, maybe hit your driver well. Driver will get away with a more shallower impact, okay? So here's what's important. Everything you do in the golf swing affects impact by either making it steeper and narrow or wider and shallower. Everything we do, from setup to backswing to downswing, they all affect it. So I categorize it as a steep and a narrow is a plus because it has a vertical line in it. Things that make it shallower have a negative. Everything you do in your swing, we're balancing steeps and narrows. When you're playing great golf, you're at equal. Okay, you're neutral. You can play your irons and you can play your driver. Steeper clubs, shallower clubs. When you're off, I really believe you're just off by one. You've got maybe too many shallowing things in your swing that you need something to get it steeper. Or you've got so many steepening things that you have to shallow it out. So you're usually, if you're hitting the ball too far left and deep divots and whacking into it and your swing has gotten spending too much time above this, we just need to give you something to shallow you out. And the opposite, if you're too shallow, we just have to give you something to make your impact steeper. Most players, when they come for a lesson, they don't need to rebuild everything. They just need one thing that's going to help them improve. They either need a little more steepening or shallowing. Sometimes you get the player who has so much steepening things back here that then they've got the big shallow out coming through. Then we have to change two things. We have to make them less shallow in the backswing and maybe a little steeper in the downswing to even it out. So again, my goal as an instructor is to make you better and to leave as many things alone in your swing as I can. To find what swing system you fit more naturally in. Are you better one-planer or more natural two-planer? And then watching your ball flight and your impact. What's the one or two things I need to change in your impact to get the ball to do something better? I believe in knowing what to leave alone and what to change. And I think by making fewer changes as possible, you're going to play better golf and be happier on the course. My name's Krista Dunton. I'm the senior instructor here at Berkeley Hall. Improving your putting is as simple as 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe all great putters are what I call a 4-count putter. And let me show you what that means. Once they take their practice stroke and they get set up over the ball, a 4-count putter will do this. 1 is a last focused look at seeing the ball go in the hole. 2, the eyes come back to the ball. 3 is backstroke. 4 is follow through. So it's got a nice rhythmic flow to it. Let me show you one more time. Once you get set up, 1, 2, 3, 4. What a 4-count stroke will do for you, it'll keep your mind quiet over the ball, which is really important because most amateurs get up there and they're thinking, oh gosh, don't miss it, or if I make it, or hit it harder, hit it softer, and their mind's spinning over the ball and they make a bad stroke. It'll also keep your tempo and your rhythm very even and very smooth, which will help you with distance control, and it'll help put a better roll on the ball. And it'll also, like I said, keep your mind quiet. So what I want you to do is you work on this 4-count. Once you get your practice stroke, get your feel, get set up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Work on that 4-count drill. You'll create better rhythm in your stroke. You'll have better tempo. Your mind will stay quiet and you'll make more putts. Thank you.